South Africa still remains one of the most unemployed nations in the world. This is Zakhele Mthembu here, and we are here to talk about the latest figures from Statistics South Africa about the quarterly labor force survey. As you know, unemployment is one of the the biggest pressing issues in South Africa right now, and as it comes as no surprise to us here, the unemployment figures have increased. Unemployment now in the second quarter of 2024 stands at 33.5%, and the real unemployment, which is the expanded definition, which includes people who have just given up on looking for work, it stands at 42.6. That is close to 50% of our fellow countrymen who just have no work. So why is there such high unemployment in South Africa now? You know, the mainstream economists who would be quite opposed to us here at the Free Market Foundation would be like, oh, it's because of these low growth rates that the South African economy is plagued by. The government just needs to invest more in the economy, in infrastructure, create more public works program, as they are quite fond of them, and the unemployment rate will increase. But we have quite a very different view, and we would like to call it a much more sound view. The problems that cause unemployment in South Africa are structural. It is a legislative and policy problem. And these latest figures would actually act as one of the first real tests for this government of national unity to see whether it's actually serious about tackling one of the biggest issues that we have in the country. As the Free Market Foundation, we launched a Liberty First policy agenda for the government in South Africa. And in one of our proposals, we were speaking about unemployment, and we proposed the Job Seekers Exemption Certificates. When we say that unemployment issues are structural in South Africa, we mean that there are policies, there are laws that impede the hiring and firing of people in our labor markets. We need a dynamic labor market so that it is able to absorb and let go of certain skills as and when the need arises. And this is made much more harder by legislation like the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, Labor Relations Act, and the National Minimum Wage Act. And what we propose as the Free Market Foundation is that South Africans, there are 42.6% of them that are unemployed, should have the option, the choice of exempting themselves from these legislation, from exempting themselves from the Labor Relations Act, the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, and other forms of restrictive labor laws. And in doing so, they would then make themselves much more attractive to prospective employers, because now there would be less administration involved with hiring them. But still, the choice that these people should be able to have is what we are advocating for. And of course, we also advocate that collective bargaining should not be extended to parties who are not involved in it. This is quite crucial, because in any market, you need to have dynamism. Standardization in markets, including the labor market, causes a whole lot of problems. And we already see the problems of collective bargaining in our state-owned entities, whereby the government can be taken to court because it agreed to wage increases 10 years ago, whilst the economy was quite different than it is right now. So these are our solutions. And generally, unemployment is caused by state intervention. As long as people still have wants and needs, there will always be a necessity for someone to serve them. So if there's no one serving those needs, or if there are people who are unable to provide themselves whilst there are people with infinite needs, then this creates the problems that we have in South Africa of high unemployment. And that is only caused by the state impeding those two people who have needs and the one who has the capacity to provide for them from meeting. So, yeah, we hope that the government will, take these figures much more seriously. We do need labor reform in South Africa, particularly in allowing people to access the labor market without the hindrances that currently exist. We have one of the largest semi-skilled and unskilled working populations. They make up a majority of our working population, meaning that these are people who would benefit from the jobs that people consider to be exploitative in other parts of the world, but which they are barred currently from partaking in, even if they want to. So hopefully, as sad as it is this day, it has become a culture now for South Africa. Every time unemployment numbers get released, the ones among us who are informed get a bit depressed, because this is quite a sad situation to find ourselves in. But we hope that, with voices like ours and voices like you, they're at home listening, will put more pressure, particularly on our new government of national unity, to actually start taking the most pressing issue in South Africa seriously. This has been Zakes from the Free Market Foundation. Now, please let us know down in the comments what you think is the cause for such high unemployment numbers. Why is it that we have normalized this inability to sustain ourselves in the millions of us, right, on a day-to-day basis? So please let us know your thoughts down below, and always remember to stay free.